I think everyone at some point in their lives needs to experience the smell, sounds, and vibrations of an air-cooled 911. Given our current situation with the NSX, we're gonna be taking a little bit of a break from it to work on something that I am really excited for. This is something that we've been waiting half a year for. It's crazy because it doesn't seem like that long ago, but that was a long time ago. Check this out. This is the Garage TBK front bumper that we bought from Japan back in January. Now, if you have no idea what this is, let me catch you up to speed. This is Auto Garage TBK. I'll give you guys the backstory, but if you want a deeper look into the legendary tuning shop, make sure to check out the entire episode from earlier this year. I'll go ahead and leave it in the description for you guys. Most notably, Garage TBK is known for its association with the legendary Midnight Racing Team. These are the legendary street racers of Japan back in the 80s and 90s and probably the most famous street racing team of all time. Takashi-san, the owner, was a member himself, and a lot of the Midnight Racing Team rocked the Garage TBK era.
Wow.
Although he makes kits for a lot of the Japanese tuning cars, I think TBK is most known for their work on air-cooled Porsches. This is what fascinates me. Garage TBK built some of the fastest air-cooled 911s back in the day, and they are still doing it to this very day. I love that Takashi-san is still bringing the old-school Japanese tuning aesthetic to something so extremely legendary outside of Japan. And when I visited and saw that he had one single bumper left for a G-Body 911, my vintage 911 dreams came true. I snagged it and immediately had it shipped to America. So that brings us to today. Our Auto Garage TBK bumper has arrived and it's time to fit it on my 911. We're bringing a true piece of Japanese tuning history to one of my favorite cars in the shop. Something that many people won't notice, but will have a profound presence for those who do. We can now bring my favorite era of car history to one of the cars that has the most soul and raw driving feel. Now, there's nothing I love more than combining two parts of the car world that I absolutely love. Air-cooled Porsches, German technology, and 911s in general, as well as Japanese tuning, styling, and that era from the 90s. Those two things are gonna make this one of the coolest things that we do in the shop. Even though it is so simple, we are combining some of the best years of Japanese tuning and styling along with some of the best years of Porsche's 911s. These air-cooled Porsches, I feel like, were very underappreciated, and up and coming until now, these things are becoming more and more sought after. And being able to combine two of, in my opinion at least, two of the greatest eras of cars ever is one of the coolest things that I've ever been able to do. And today, we're gonna make that happen, but there's only one problem. I have no idea how we're gonna do it, but we're gonna figure it out. You know, I always feel like an idiot when I go to jack this car up because, you know, usually cars have a pretty recognizable jacking point or lifting spot. But these 911s, and I guess I can't really speak for all air-cooled Porsches in general, these things are not easy to lift, okay? I struggle to find the jack point. I always forget they have this little thing, little jack thing, to help you lift the car up, but when you look underneath it, the actual jacking points, good luck. But, you know, we figure it out. I will say though, these things are pretty cool. It is quite scary. Okay. According to Porsche, these are the jacking points. Now, to be completely honest, I have no effing idea what I am getting myself into here, but you know, it doesn't seem that bad, okay? And how bad can it be? It's half a bumper. I think they technically call this the front spoiler. Today, a whole lot more JDM. Okay. The sag on this old suspension is hilarious. Eventually, we need to get a proper setup on this thing. Engine, suspension, full track mode, that'd be pretty epic. But for today, cool JDM stuff. Now, time to figure this out if we can. Under a little bit of inspection, it is extremely dark down here, so you guys probably won't be able to tell. Under some inspection, it does look like there are two very, very tiny bolts right here, as well as behind these lines, you kind of have like a bracket that looks like it holds the spoiler to the front bumper. So I'm gonna work on figuring out what size those are and get those 3 bolts off. Very crusty down here, as one would expect. Okay, bolt number 1. Are you smaller? What are you? Oh my gosh, I'm not gonna have that size. I don't know how this just worked, but I went into the depths of our old tool bin, and this is actually a 7. Now, the whole reason I want to get this bumper off before we send that one out into paint is because if there's any cutting or drilling required, I'd much rather get that before it's all nice and painted, just so we don't scuff anything up, and right when it's done, we can throw it right on and be set and ready to go. All right, let's see, this should be off. All right, one more big bolt to go, and I think that this side will be okay. This thing is very difficult to reach. Okay, side 1, down. Side 2, same thing. Arguably, a little bit easier to reach. Maybe, I don't want to speak too soon. Did it. We are almost there. 2 more bolts to go, I think. Side bolts are off. Through my research, I went ahead and opened the front because I was afraid that we had to take off the entire bumper, which would be a lot more involved. But upon inspecting, don't mind how dirty and nasty it is down here, it looks like just a bolt right there and a bolt right over here, right there. Those look like the 2 only other bolts that are holding spoiler, whatever you want to call it, into the car. So let's knock those out and see if we can get this thing off. Why are you stuck? Okay. Yes! One and 2. Front spoiler is removed. I think it's crusty. Now how the heck do we get this thing on? This is completely different. Okay. Let's see. Nope. That is gonna require some cutting, I think. One thing I didn't do is take off these little side pieces, and as you guys can see, this bumper actually extends up to where the side panel is on the actual front bumper portion. So let's get these off, and maybe I'll be able to stick it up a little. Oh my God, it's gonna be a nightmare. I'll be able to mock it up a little bit better with these off, but it's gonna be a mission to get this side off. Shit. This bracket makes it very difficult. Now, the one thing that's going to be hard about this new bumper is going to be the fog lights that it has. Its distinct TBK look are obviously the fog lights, and this didn't come with that. So I'm curious to see what actually this is going to, how much we're actually going to have to cut off of this to make those fog lights actually work. That's the scary part, for sure. Okay, with all of that off, we should be able to test fit the bumper a little bit better now. Now the only problem that I'm seeing are definitely the fog lights hitting coolant and oil lines, maybe AC, no, it's definitely coolant. That's my only issue, are these guys right here. So that could be a potential issue. Well, it is an issue. It's hitting all these lines on this side. It does fit and it looks freaking epic. Okay. Yeah, this looks epic. Oh my God. Can I stand this up somehow? I just have to figure out how in the heck I'm gonna get around this situation over here. Something important right here. Oh my God. She's gonna be beautiful. I just have to figure out how to make it work. She's gonna need a lot of love and a lot of finesse here. Absolutely disgusting, but we did it. The biggest issue with our bumper was going to be this reservoir right here, which is our windshield washer fluid, which, to be completely honest, didn't even know this car had that. I've never used it, so the unfortunate, but also because I didn't use it, fortunate part is we can no longer run this reservoir if I want to run this front bumper due to the fog light bracket. Now that this is out of the way, I should be able to get a very accurate mock-up of what the front bumper is going to look like and how much we need to modify for this bumper portion right here. But first, I got to clean all this up. You know, I thought the NSX was bad, but this is what an extra 10 years of being abandoned will do to you. This is filth. This is absolute just filth. Oh. Okay, we had a little cleanup sesh, looking much better underneath the car. Okay, our hope now is we can get a clean, easy mock-up so that I can see how much I'm gonna have to clearance on this side, and then figure out about drilling our holes. The real scary part. You know, with one person, this is not ideal. What about this side? This side has lines. Okay, we got it to like fit up, but it's definitely fits better, but there's not, it looks insane. Pretty dang good fit. Now it looks weird right now, but I promise you guys, once we get this thing properly mounted and it's not like a mustache with the white, it's gonna look insane. The issue that I'm running into right now is this like black mesh accordion piece right here. The gap on the mold is not quite long enough to have this accordion piece recessed into it, so we're gonna have to do some modification, and that's where it gets really, really scary. I'm gonna have to clean all of this fiberglass up so this bumper sits flush to the bumper of the car right here. And it's like this on this side, and moving over here, it is a little bit less on this side, but still not enough room. We gotta clear that up, which means we gotta cut and just pray that I don't f it up. A little bit more. She's coming together. I am so stoked. Took off a little bit too much down here, but again, I can always just have the body shop fill that in just a tad bit. Let me suck it up. Yeah, we'll have it tuck that in just a bit, but lines up perfectly over here. I gotta get it mounted on the sides, and then we can start mounting it to the front, and we'll be ready to send. It's gonna be equally as scary as everything else. Figure it out. We have to get bumper lined up as best as we can. Okay. Okay. We cut and hope for the best. Okay. Oh gosh, this is nerve-wracking. One side down. That's a big one. If holes are correct, everything is lined up, this bumper should mount from the sides and will be held up by the bolts. That way we can mount it to the center, everything sucks up, and it'll be good to go for the car so we can drop it off to paint. Cross our fingers. Yeah, I think I'm so nervous that I'm stalling. Let's just do it and hope that we did it correct. Very loosely, but we have a bumper. Let's go. Oh my gosh. Now it's just gonna be sucking her up. Yes. So what's it look like if I do this? Oh my gosh. It is epic. Oh, all the good JDM styling with some Porsche. All right, guys, I know right now it doesn't look like much, or maybe it does. To me, it looks absolutely sick because I can see the vision in my head, but there's still a lot more work to do. We have the fender to bumper mounts mounted. It looks so good. I'm like a little kid in a candy shop right now. This is so cool. We're making very, very good progress. You guys can still see there's a gap right here. I will have to create mounting points with the hardware that I did purchase to suck all this up. So I'm gonna put, I think, 4 bolts in the top of this. This will get mesh at some point as well. I know you guys are gonna wonder about that. This will be all mesh at some point, but the last mounting points will be 4 going along the front bumper here that will suck it up. But even if I do that, we still have a gap on this side right here. And that's because this piece has a little bit too much fiberglass. So I'm gonna take some sandpaper and sand this down just a little bit. You guys can see the gap right here actually. Sand this down just a little bit, take away some of like this extra material that they added right here. And that will give us enough slack so that when I bolt this up, it'll suck everything in, and this should all be nice and tight along the main portion of the bumper up here. So a little bit more work to do before we can fully send it and mount her up. We've done the work, we've got the bumper back on. It's probably gonna be pretty tough for you guys to tell, but I'm pretty sure we got it perfect. So now if we suck it up with the 4 bolts, 1, 2, and then 2 in the middle, everything rounds out really nice. Fits right up to the OEM bumper here. This will stick up very nicely. It gives me all the early 90s, late 80s Japanese vibes that I've wanted in this Porsche for so long. This has been a hefty project to do by myself, especially a bumper, but the outcome is so worth it. We have 4 more bolts to do. Making progress. There we go. Trying to get paid when they get down. You can't tell me shit now. final touch. We're gonna actually bolt these down, bolt all of them down. Oh my God, it is perfect. It is literally perfect. We just gotta do the sides, and I think we have ourselves a TBK 911 front bumper. We made one major step, but this thing still has to get painted, which is going to make this look better tenfold. And this is why you buy authentic Japanese parts. Not only the fact that it like just gives the Porsche a completely unique look, but the fact that, in my opinion, we're adding such an important piece of automotive history to this car that not many people get to do. That to me is the coolest part. Again, just being able to hopefully keep that story and keep that era of cars alive with this. Now, this is only one large piece of the puzzle. We gotta get this thing back off and over to the body shop to help clean up this bumper, get it painted, finally get it mounted up onto the car. Now, she's definitely not perfect. Definitely needs the hands of a body shop. I'm by no means a professional. Maybe a professional, figure it out and hope not to screw it up-er, but definitely not a professional body shopper. But for what we were able to do in the garage with my minimal tools available to me, this bumper looks absolutely awesome. I went ahead and loosened it up just a tad bit over here so that I could make this fit just a little bit better on this corner. But for me, everything looks awesome. This bumper is so sick. Take this thing over to the body shop and get it painted. Another little project for you. Sup, dude? Now, I gave Efren this little piece so he could hopefully match to the best of his ability the blue paint, but also I should probably tell you that this is severely patinaed. Oh, so
so it doesn't matter if it's messed up.
hopefully it'll look okay. But he also did the whale tail that we have on the back, which looked really, really nice. So if we can get at least the bumper looking like that, I think we'll be good. We showed him the couple of small areas that we kind of need work done on, but I think he's got it covered. He's done really well for us on the other cars. I'm stoked. Thank you, friend.
No problem, man.
Next time you guys see this bumper, it's gonna be painted and ready to go on the car. Oh, not too bad. All right, we're back. Now that we finished up the front bumper fitment and dropped it off to TSM Collision, we have some time to actually do a little bit of maintenance to the 911. And this is something that we've been putting off for quite a while now. And we finally have all of the parts needed to do actual maintenance on the 911. Something that has been very, very much overdue over the past couple of years we've owned this car. Honestly, in the grand scheme of things, this thing needs a complete engine out refresh and maintenance go through. But until we can make that happen, we have to do an oil change on this car. And I figure while we're waiting for the bumper to get finished, now is the perfect time to just go ahead and get that maintenance knocked out of the way. We had to order all new crush washers for both the drain plug and the sump plug, as well as a ton of oil. This thing takes like 9 quarts of oil, as well as a special oil filter as well. So we have all of that in at the shop currently, and now we can do an oil change. But of course, with Porsche, it's not just any normal oil change, it's a whole procedure. You have to get this car up to operating temp, and once this car is running at operating temp, get it back in the shop and immediately drain the oil out of the regular drain plug and drain the oil out of the sump, and then fill it all while the car is still at operating temperature. It's pretty wild, very technical, typical Porsche stuff. So take this car on a quick little cruise, get it up to temp, and then bring it back to the shop and start getting to work. 1,000 miles later, and she's still kicking. Oh, it's good. How slow of a car this is, but how much fun it is to drive. How much like soul this thing has. Oh God, this is gonna be, dude. This is way. Oh no, that fits okay. I'm so scared.
Your hand out of there.
Oh God, it's so hot. Oh, wow, that was a lot less. Dude, I told you it's so much.
I know.
Oh my God.
Scoot it over.
I think it's gonna be just enough.
We needed a bigger pan and we weren't ready for it.
Yeah.
Honestly, we could have left it on and got on a lift.
So we're releasing it from the regular drain currently, and then once this is all drained, we can put the plug back in and go ahead and remove it from the sump, and that's going to be the tricky one because it's literally right in the center of the engine. Let me try and not burn myself. Oh, it's so slippery. Oh God. That's a lot of oil, dude. Regular drain's done, sump is done. Good to go. Next up, we're gonna grab our very, very hot oil filter. This thing is huge.
Yeah.
It's like a truck oil filter.
Honestly, it's bigger than some truck oil filters. It's like a diesel truck oil filter.
Yeah, this thing's giant. Well, that's gigantic. Take a little bit of juice from there. Add a little juice onto here. And we're going to put this guy back in here. Long overdue, but I'm super stoked we're going to knock this out, especially in time for getting the bumper on. She's gonna be ready to rock. This piece of the puzzle before we can actually fill this thing up with oil, we got some OEM crush washers, which is honestly something that we kind of reuse on a lot of the oil changes. But as far as the Porsche goes, these things are very, these things are very particular, like I told you. So we got brand new ones, and it should prevent any leaking. One on this guy, one on that guy. We will also torque these to the correct specifications. These actually look new. Whatever the cover for the sump right here, Tim, these actually look like new nuts.
It might be.
She's wet and ready to jet.
Well, it needs oil now.
Yeah, actually she's dry. She's gonna be wet. Let's do it. Definitely not the easiest fill. Not the easiest oil fill. Oil change is done. Now it's bumper time. They look sick. That looks beefy. So we spared you guys some time and got the bumper completely set up and ready to go so that we could just instantly install it back onto the car. So a couple of notable features even after the paint here, which by the way looks fantastic right up next to the car. Number one, we got some grill mesh for the center, so it's not just a gaping hole looking straight into that crusty old oil cooler. Next up, and probably the coolest, most profound feature of this entire bumper are the famous TBK fog lights. Now this is a notable feature on literally every single bumper that TBK makes, from the Skyline to the Supra to the RX-7. They all have these really gnarly fog lights, and for the Porsche, I think it looks right at home, and it really completes the entire look of this bumper. I told you guys that when I was installing it and fitting it to the car, that it would look a whole lot better than it did just fiberglass and kind of raw without the mesh and without the fog lights. It just looks kind of like a mustache. This looks infinitely better. I am so stoked. So now the real moment of truth. We got to fit this bumper on with the fog lights and make sure all the holes and everything are still good even after being painted, and hopefully the work that I did works and it'll just fit right on. So without me doing any more talking, let's go ahead and get to fitting. Oh yeah, dude, that looks freaking sick, and it's just next to it. Thank God Tim's here. Now I have somebody to hold the freaking bumper up while I do this. Oh, you know what? I need this mesh out. Shoot. Oh yeah, drop her down, Tim. Oh my gosh, it looks so cool. Oh!
It's so low.
Dude. That is really low and I'm really scared, but also this looks insane. Dude, how am I gonna drive this? Oh my, just the added look that this gives. It's unlike anything else you'll see on the road. Oh, it's everything I wanted for this car. It sets it apart from every other just normal air-cooled Porsche. That front bumper gives it that Japanese styling, but keeps the aura of the Porsche itself. Forgot about that. And we got fog lights. Dude, just imagine this thing cruising on the long gun. The C1 loop. Holy crap, it looks insane, Tim. Oh, look at the front aggressiveness. It's everything I wanted. It's everything I wanted it to be. When I saw all the Midnight members at that car show last year in Japan and got to see a couple of the Porsches, this is everything I could have wanted out of it. Dude, that is so epic.
What does it look like with the... Because I know these are different.
I cannot get over how this looks. It's just unbelievable. Sick as hell, dude. Oh my god. Oh, it is just exactly what I wanted. It's exactly, dude. Yes. Why does it look like this Porsche came straight off of a lot back in the 1980s from Japan? Dude. It literally looks like this car came off of a Japanese car lot in the 80s, and I love every bit about it. Yeah, very scary. Very scary. Ohio.
What?
Wake up.
I'm already wake up. I'm gonna go head to office.
Check this out.
Right now. Ooh, sick.
What do you think?
You finally put it on the car, huh?
Finally got the TBK bumper on. It looks so cool.
Wow. Jesus. Yeah, it looks legit Wangan car now.
That's what I said. Now I just have to get all the chips to match, you know? The bumper's too nice compared to the rest of the car.
No, you should repaint your entire car then.
Oh god, that's gonna be the real question.
Get rid of the patina, pal.
Look absolutely freaking sick.
Dude, it looks like Japan just pulled out of your garage.
That's what I'm saying, dude. This just completed the look for the Porsche for me. I don't think I could want anything else. My ultimate dream, if money was no object and time and everything just worked out, the universe aligned perfectly for me. My ultimate dream for this car would be something similar like we did to the Tokyo Drift Evo, where I send this thing to Japan, be able to drive it in Japan, and have Nakai-san from RWB do a full RWB build on it. But right now it's kind of out of the cards for an America build, and for honestly the history and the culture that comes with just having this TBK bumper. I am 100% content, and it's exactly what I had envisioned when I bought this car 2 years ago, what I wanted this Porsche to be. Now, if we could focus on the engine and really get a spicy engine, or just at least get this engine maintained and running at 100%, I would be completely happy. But as far as aesthetics and looks go for my vintage 911, this is the peak for me. This is everything I could have wanted. TBK front bumper, BBS LMs, and the Porsche OEM wheel tail in the rear. For me, this is the ultimate 911 Super Carrera. Unbelievably cool this thing actually is. I'd really love to know statistics of how many of these are still out there or how many of these are even just in America. I think the coolest part about this bumper is that we get to preserve an era that really made what Japanese car culture is today and why we love it. I mean, this bumper came straight from the 80s and 90s in Midnight Racing Team, and the fact that there's, number one, still around today, and the fact they were able to actually find one in Japan and bring it here to America for my own car, that's just the ultimate story. I almost forgot, there's one last thing I have to do before this can be finally completed. The TBK sticker. That finalizes it. Porsche's done, and I know you guys are going to be asking about the center cap giveaway. We're going to announce the winners of the 4 different center caps in the next video once T-Money gets back home, so don't miss the next episode. A little sneak peek as what's coming right over there. Oh, you're still here. Thanks for watching this long. If you made it this far, you should consider subscribing right up here, or I guess down below. And YouTube really thinks that you're gonna like this video right over here, so maybe check that one out. Hope you guys enjoyed today's video. Let's get back to it.